Yes. No, I couldn't go. Not how it is now.
When you see everything the kids have got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this is one that's here.
No. No, not at all. Yeah.
I had a nice childhood.
Yeah.
Kids.
I do.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Children.
Yeah, that's loud.
I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for these youngsters these days. What's going to come ahead of them, you know what I mean?
I know the worst thing they do is
That's
they
taking those
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't put my glasses back.
I think the worst thing they do is to extend the working day.
Yes.
I was didn't make that long in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, they come in and there's no time for it. They do it like that. In the end, they get on very well. It's not their fault. It's what we've conditioned people.
Yes.
It really isn't their fault. Yeah, we should have cut the age to 60 up there.
Yeah, definitely.
And they would screw back the pension. They won't get enough yet to pay the pension. Any pension companies will get in trouble for not paying the pension.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
The hush is standing
The silence.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Keep it going, keep it going.
You'll tell us all.
I've got a terrible reputation. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I know I keep saying this until you must be bored of hearing it, but walk into this church and people are in here talking again, communicating, having a laugh. That's what it's all about. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. No, thank you all for coming. Stop it. Looking forward to our service today. Very, very dear lady taking our service today, the lovely Phyllis Rumney. Phyllis, what would you like to see with us?
With us. I love coming here. The atmosphere is good, the vibrations are good, the spirits spin around. And
Yes. No, they're definitely doing their part of this
Yeah.
time.
they do.
Thank you. Thank you too to all you wonderful people who are watching us from the comfort of your own homes. And thank you too to the wonderful Fiona who has volunteered from Devon to be your online host today. So please join in on the service, send out your thoughts, your love, your heart, and you will be here. Spirit is all around us. There's no time lag. You are part of the service and you are more than welcome. Without further ado, my darling, if I could ask you for the opening blessing. Thank you.
I'm glad to see you all here this afternoon. The sunshine's brought you all out. And with the sunshine, it always makes your heart feel that little bit better, doesn't it? So as our hearts are all in that wonderful mood, let's all join together as we pray and say thank you to the Spirit world. Dear Heavenly Father, Creator of all life, that we call God, we thank you so much for bringing us together in this fantastic sanctuary this afternoon. We thank you for the love that you send forth. We thank you for our families, for our friends, for the food on our table. We give thanks to Heavenly Father for the gifts that you have sent forward to each and every one. We ask this afternoon for the two worlds to be joined together in love and harmony, truth and laughter. So may that veil be drawn aside so that your love may be felt and your voice is heard. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Phyllis. That was beautiful. And now, if you'd care to, please join in by reciting the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. And now, Phyllis, we look forward to hearing your reading, followed by your address today.
Thank
And
you
if I
very
may
much.
just quickly... Excuse me. Thank you. Don't want to read that.
Put my glasses on. If you need me to read. I'm going to read one of Helena Steiner Rice's poems. Some of you must know her. I mean, she was a writer of many years ago. And actually, when I opened this, it said, "With all my love, Peter, Christmas 91. So it's a long time ago since I've had this. I thought, not even 2001, 91, 30 years ago nearly, isn't it? It's a long time ago. But I thought I'd like to read the foreword before I read the poem, to what Helena Rice was about. Helena Steiner Rice gloried in the ordinary. She knew that people who have the best grasp of life are those who most call common or ordinary, not the upwardly mobile or the movers and the shakers. No, those who truly understand the ebb and flow of life are those who struggle with the day-to-day joys and disappointments of jobs and families, those who rejoice in a baby's first step, a grandchild's crayon picture, a daughter's wedding, those who weep for a father's death or a sister's illness, those who count among her most treasured possessions the memories of families and friends. And these are the people Helen Steiner Rice valued. She sought their company, listened to their laughter, shared their tears, and when she wrote for them, giving voice to their thoughts and to their feelings. And I thought that was lovely when I read that. And I thought, I want to share that with you. I think 'cause every little bit of knowledge, what you know about people, is so nicely shared. But why I'm going to read this is something that's been niggling me for a little while. And I always think spirits send you something that is relevant to yourself. So this is called The Priceless Gift of Christmas. Now, Christmas is a season for joy and merrymaking. It's a time for gifts and presents, for giving and for taking. A festive, friendly, happy time that when everybody is gay. But have we really felt the greatness of the day? For through the centuries the world has wandered far away from the beauty and meaning of the holy Christmas day. For Christmas is a heavenly gift that only God can give. It's ours just for the asking, for as long as we shall live. It can't be bought or bartered, it can't be won or sold, and it doesn't cost a penny, and it's worth far more than gold. It isn't bright and gleamy for eager eyes to see. It can't be wrapped in tinsel or placed beneath a tree. It isn't soft and shimmering for reaching hands to touch, or some expensive luxury we've wanted so very much. For the priceless gift of Christmas is meant just for the heart, and we receive it only when we become a part of the kingdom and the glory which is ours to freely take. For God sent his holy Christ child at Christmas for our sake, so man might come to know him and feel his presence near, and see the many miracles performed while he was here. And this is priceless gift of Christmas is within the reach of all, the rich, the poor, the young and old, the greatest and the small. So take this priceless gift of love, reach out and you receive, and the only payment that God asked is that you all believe. I think that is lovely. You say to people, well, that brought that about. Why did I really want to stop and read a poem that I've had for 30 odd years? But it's the time is right at the moment. What was niggling me at the moment is Christmas is coming, and really it's been thrown at us many weeks too early. So by the time Christmas comes, we will not know what it's all about at any rate. Christmas is so precious. I stop and think about when I was a child, when the carols and the having a chicken for Christmas was absolutely fantastic. That's the only time we ever had a chicken was Christmas when I was young. I know, and we had to feed it all the year by giving the neighbour our potato peelings and vegetables leftovers. That was our Christmas. And what was a Christmas stocking was a few nuts at the bottom of a sock with an apple and an orange. And I think it was a comic. We weren't allowed comics in December because they were wrapped up for Christmas Day. So what a difference of what Christmas was like then and how we really rejoiced in Christmas. It wasn't all this, got to buy all these beautiful gifts, and I want this, I want that. And the food, the gluttony really that's going on, all the adverts for food. And I think, in my time, it would have, when I was young, my gosh, it would have been fantastic. But I can go and buy nearly everything every day in the supermarket. I mean, I had bought Peter brought home some blueberries the other day, and they came from Chile. I mean, in the real life, going back years ago, there wouldn't be heard of any of this food, exotic food. So really, where are we going in life? How often in all the advertisements have they mentioned Jesus, the crib, the glorified? They haven't mentioned anything. And you know, this has really got up my nose this Christmas. You know, if you can agree, it really has got up me. Because I feel Christmas is so special. To me, even when my own children were small, to be listening to the carols from Kings on a Christmas Eve, and the smell of making those sausage rolls just on the Christmas Eve. You couldn't go and buy them in a shop. It was all handmade and things were all done. So each one was done with love. I can remember the sausage rolls made. I think they used to do them in tins, and a week later we're still eating stale sausage rolls. But that was the only time we ever had them all throughout the year. So really, for food, etc., we're very lucky. And I thought, well, what is the God at the moment? What is it everybody's on? Everything is COVID, and everything is, oh, we're going to have an injection, we're all going to be all right. But it's almost like that is the God that's coming forward, and it's so sad that one doesn't stop and pray like they used to. Children are not brought up to kneel by their bed and put their hands together and pray. I think that's lovely. I used to try and do it to my girls, but I don't think they did it to their children. Because I had my granddaughter over last year and I could just kneel by the bed, Nanny. No. What for? But that is really what life is all about. I feel really the experience of life has made me who I am. Now, Christmas is Christmas and Jesus was born. But let's go through the centuries before Christ. The religion in this era in the continent was really paganism, or Hinduism, Judaism, and one other, which I was looking up this morning, that all came 500 years before Jesus was born. There was religions there so very much in the fall. these different religions. But the pagans which we had in this country and most of Europe at that time, they celebrated Christmas. It was a solstice. It was the shortest day that they celebrated. It was the beginning then, what they celebrated. They ate their food that they had grown all through the year. It was a celebration they could use from what they had gathered all through the year, and that was a celebration. And the celebration really was for the start of the new, when the sun starts rising, those few minutes earlier, the following day, and the following day, and this is what they celebrated. So this time of year has been a celebration for goodness knows how many centuries, and there's so many different religions too, but they all do something different. But this has been, I mean, paganism, they prayed to the sun, to the rain, to the moon, to the stars, all the things that help them to help grow and to feed themselves and their families. I mean, sometimes I stop and think back, how did they cope then? But they were intelligent people. They coped with what they managed. But they celebrated. But they had a way of praying as well. Praying to themselves. I think God was, they may not have known God as God, but they always had someone to pray to. So praying is so very important. So at this time, as we're coming up for Christmas, let us stop and really think and say thank you for what we have. All of us here are very lucky. We haven't had COVID, but most of us have been estranged in our own home. I haven't gone very many places. I come here because I know I'm safe. But I don't go into many shops, and I don't go into people's houses. Not that I don't want to. I want people to come to me. But I have to stay safe because there's work for us to do throughout our life. I have to laugh too about Christmas. I mean, I feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for the nurses, etc. that work, because I did it for many years, nursing. And I can remember doing a ghosters, sort of doing Christmas Eve and staying awake all Christmas Day, then going back to sleep, work again in the evening. The next day actually dying and sleeping 24 hours non-stop. I never felt better when you wake up after that, I can tell you. But that is Christmas. We used to enjoy working with our patients and looking after people, because that is giving. This year has been a very hard year for many people, and it's hit home. One of my daughter's business went pew, just like that when COVID started. They'd built up a business for 12 years that was doing very, very well. The best year they'd ever had when it came to the finances in the November. And come March, it went on, and it's almost flat. But they've managed to keep going. They haven't got their money in their hands. Their wages, they cut them down to half. They try to keep as many staff on as they have. And a little bit is beginning to dribble back. But it's been very hard when you've worked hard for so much and other people. But she set a limit this year, £25 per head of all her Christmas presents. She's like, I can't afford any more. We keep it to £25, and everybody looking at her aghast, and this was the girl that had money. They haven't got it now, but they have to accept it. And her nieces and nephews on her husband's side are looking at her, I'll say in a gasp. But no, she said, it's all you need to pay for me as well. Just let's keep it £25 a head. And this is how you have to do it sensibly. And it really, all you do need to do is give of yourself at Christmas. Your families and your friends are very important. We can't see them. We Zoom them. I expect we'll Zoom many things, many people over the holidays, but we will see friends and perhaps give them a cheer, I won't keep the glass empty, I promise you that. I'm going to keep it. But I really want to give my time. The thought of a new child at Christmas, there's a neighbour over the road, she's going to be a grandma, the baby's due 2 days before Christmas, so we're keeping our in lockdown. The lady next door but one had a little baby. We hardly see it. I did sneak a cuddle a few days ago, but Mum stood over there. She let me cuddle it for 2 minutes and I had to give it back because she had 2 young children who were at school and she's scared of giving it to me. The children might have infection on them. And I thought, this just isn't right. We should be able to sit down and have a cup of tea and be with each other. But she must have been very lonely since May and isolating herself. And that's really what it's all about. But a new baby brings joy to us all. I might even be a great grand next year. Don't know yet. I can always live in hope because a baby brings a future to everyone. And life is important. I don't say don't celebrate Christmas, but we don't have to go mad. We don't have to go partying. Actually, it's rather good. I didn't have to buy myself a new Christmas dress this year. I haven't really got to buy all the extra perfume. I haven't had to buy lipstick because I wear a mask all the time. It's all these things. You have to think of the good things. I don't go out for coffee now, so I've got a few more pennies in my pocket, I've got to think of when I can. We can do things. We have to work with our times. Christmas is not going to be the same. But it doesn't stop you thinking of the real reason for Christmas. It doesn't stop you sitting down quietly and really going over it, perhaps with a younger generation, what Christmas is really all about. Reading a book, perhaps even in a comedy form, it doesn't matter. But let the children of today know what Christmas is about. Half the children don't know. They know Father Christmas is here, they have the present. That one bang, I'll have the Skeletrix, I'll have this, I'll have that. And the poor parents are bankrupt for the next 18 months, trying to pay off what they bought. But it's the time the children want. Do you know, I stopped to think about children and what they have for Christmas. I had blow football one year. It's funny how things, we only had lino on the floor. My brother and I, one side of this double bed, we were playing blow football, my mum yelling out, shut up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning when we found our present. But that's a simple thing. It must have cost her as much money just to buy something like that as it did expensive toys of today. I can look back with laughter and know about the food, knowing about drinking. We didn't have it in those days. I think in our household we had a bottle of sherry every Christmas, and I think that was all that was ever bought. There was never anything else. I will admit I got drunk when I was about 14. On my sister's mother-in-law's turnip wine. I went round one Christmas morning and she said, have a drink of that. Well, I was 14, never touched a drop in my life, and I wobbled home. But that's life that brings laughter, and you have to think about it. And this is really what I wanted to bring through. We're all going through COVID. We've been going through a bad time. Let us really think of the good things that have happened to us. The laughter, sorry to bring that up, but it's the laughter that brings forward what Christmas was all about. I can just see it, mother-in-law, my sister's mother-in-law stood at the sink, cabbage, etc., with his turnip wine. But that is life and what it is. But Christmas was still Christmas. We were still made to go to church at Christmas. I was brought up a Roman Catholic, and so it had to be church Christmas morning. Not that I understood a thing what was being said, because it was all in Latin. But we did as we were told. But Christmas really had a wonderful sentiment. You've got to enjoy Christmas. and enjoy the love that it gives. Give that love that you feel inside you, give it to someone and make it their Christmas. You don't have to buy anything, just give them a smile. If you can, behind your masks. I just give them that love and the laughter. And I'm going to say, God bless you all.
Phyllis, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. I never realised COVID saved you on lipstick. Now there's a thought to take forward.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it, do you? Who sees your mouth? Actually, the cosmetic people are going mad because they've lost £100,000 through it. Oh, what a shame.
I've always found it difficult to equate when people say they've lost this money they never had. Anyway, moving on. We now come on to that part of the service for healing. And as I always say, never forget, we are all healers. We all have the ability to heal in various ways, shapes or forms, be it through the art of spiritual healing, or the ancillary arts of Reiki, be it through talking to people, helping people, as we've just heard in the address there, just a smile to people. These are all acts of healing. Never forget that. So as we go into this healing time, just ask you just to sit comfortably, just for a short while. Just to let your mind wander. Let it wander out into this world. And think of people that you know, families, friends, loved ones, whether here or beyond the veil. And also those people that we've had difficulties with also. Just hold them aloft in your mind for this short time. And just ask, the simplest prayer ever, please help them. Nothing complex, nothing grandiose, but from the heart it has the most power. So I'll leave you alone with some music just for this short time. So let your mind wander and your heart soar and connect with the Spirit, whether you are aware or not. When you work in service to your fellow man, Spirit are there. as you gently return back to full consciousness, just trust that healing has been given. You have worked for the highest and the greatest love that there is within the entire universe. That act of service and love, unasking and giving selflessly to those that we know. Amen. And now, so it's still away, hello. Phyllis, once more I hand over to you. Thank you, my darling.
I never know who's working with me, but I feel very much someone with a sense of humour is working with me today. I really feel, you know, when I get going. But there's so much love here. I've got to come to the lady in the blue, please.
Thank you.
There's a gentleman that stands very close to you.
Yes.
This gentleman loved Christmas.
Yes, you did.
I really feel a Christmassy feel with this person.
Yes.
I want to say he was a family man,
Yes.
very much a family man.
Yeah.
He wasn't out boozing with the boys or
Oh,
anything
no,
like that.
no.
You know, I really feel he was a gentleman.
That's right.
His family was everything.
Yes.
And he loved to surprise people.
Yes.
He said it's a surprise, isn't it? I'd come through. You know, this is the way he really wants to come through to you today. But it was a surprise, and I've got that jack-in-the-box feeling
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
with him as he is coming through. He's a very hard-working gentleman,
Yes, he was.
for what I said, but so much a family man.
Yes.
His children were everything.
That's right.
And the children had, he didn't like to give the children clothes or anything at Christmas. It had to be toys.
Yes, right.
This is really why it's got to be something pleasurable for the children, and he was quite adamant about this.
Yes.
He was
yes.
he's really laying it down. I don't know whether you bought some grandchildren or something, some clothes or something.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's funny how spirit comes through, doesn't it?
It is,
And
it is.
what they have to say, I say he had a sense of humour
Yes.
and a surprise with you. He's saying you've had to open a few doors
Yes.
of late,
Yes.
but the loneliness is still in there.
That's right.
But it's only not only the position you're in, it's because of the whole thing that's going on
That's right.
in life
Yes.
at this time. It doesn't matter, even if you had a load of people around you, you'd still feel lonely.
That's right.
So
The loneliness.
you've got that loneliness in here, and he knows it.
Right.
You often talk to him.
Yes.
Actually, you moan at him. Can you understand? He just sort of said, "Oh, God, I hear everything that's not going, but it's not going right. Why didn't I do it? I can't. I'm up here."
Yeah. That's right.
But this is the way that he's coming through. It's really lovely, the sense of humour. I think Christmas meant so much about him. And he said he loved the sausage rolls, me talking about the
Oh,
sausage
yes,
rolls.
yes.
Do you know, while I was sitting here, I was going cold with his energy, and I knew I had someone here
Yeah.
when I started talking about things, because he was sort of edging me on at the time. But that was the way he really was.
Yes.
He wasn't one to sit back and let everybody else do it.
No.
He had to get on and do it.
That's right.
I would say he was about 5'9", 5'10",
Yeah. Yeah.
in height,
Yes. Yeah.
but a lovely build. Actually, as he got older, he got matured, quite a handsome fella.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did.
He said, I wasn't the boy, so I looked better once I reached 50. But this is his sense of humour.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
this is the way he wants to come through to you today. He's trying to brighten you up, you know, and keep you cheering.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to tell you you're never alone,
Right.
that he's always there. You can talk, and have you been singing lately?
Yeah.
shouldn't ask questions. I should say you've been singing lately, because this is really what he's telling me.
Yeah.
Because he said you can talk to me, Mo, and you can carry on singing, because
Oh,
that was
that's
what
so
how
good,
he
yeah.
put it.
He used to always sing.
Hmm?
He always sang himself.
Yeah.
Sang and whistled, he did.
Yeah. So there you are.
Yeah.
Go carry on. You sing to him.
Yeah.
Let him know it's there.
Yeah.
His sense of humour is wonderful.
It is. It is.
His house, it was a home. Your home was a home. It
Yeah.
wasn't a house.
That's right.
Could you? This is really what he's trying to tell me. It was. He said you could go in and you felt comfortable.
That's right.
You felt so wonderful. He's praising you up, really,
Oh, thank
to
you.
telling you
Thank you.
it was a home.
Yeah.
It really was a wonderful, warm home.
Yes.
There was always laughter in the home.
That's right.
Tears were very soon pushed aside.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
he's saying. And with the family, you always have tears.
That's right.
This is how he's putting it.
Yeah.
He said, but that was a sign. We did things together.
That's right.
The decisions were together.
Everything.
He's saying he didn't always win. And that is his. I'm going to say, Happy Christmas from the old wonderful man.
Oh, lovely.
And he's saying he notices you're doing it small this year,
Yes.
but the family are in touch.
Yes, they are.
So this is how he's putting it. He says, but he'll be there
He
with
will.
you
He will.
at any rate. And he said, have a little tipple for me.
Yeah.
And I'll say, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Thank you,
talking to me.
Mother.
Thank you for bringing it. I can take his energy home with me today. Come to the young lady there, please.
Thank you, I've been coming this for a long time, thank you.
Well, you're very much younger than me.
Bless you, thank you.
Mother in spirit, please.
Yes.
Huge family together.
Yes.
Thank you. Is your dad?
Yes.
Because I got my mother's coming to you.
Yeah.
You know, your mum could be cheeky.
Yeah.
Could-
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you understand?
Yes.
Because she said, I've got to come to you because it gets more sense out of you.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you?
Yes, I can take that. Yeah.
This is how it is. But she comes with love. Sheila did love the family.
Yes, she did.
The family was her life.
Yes.
I don't feel I had much outside interest as much.
That's right,
And I feel the home was very much with her. But it was just the way of putting it, I had to come to you. Makes more sense. She had to come to her husband. All right? You got your wife there. A lovely lady. But she kept you on your toes, didn't she? I really feel she was in charge at home. You could get on and do your work and just bring the money home. And, you know, and she ran the home. And that is the way that she's coming through today. She's a very stood upright lady. She didn't have much nonsense about her. You know, she liked things, but she did have this lovely sense of humour, which was quiet, that it came through. And the family always would feel that warmth that she could give,
Yes, that's right.
very much so. But the way that she came through, I'm dressed nicely.
Oh, yes, yes.
I'm dressed just right
Yes.
for wherever she's going.
Yes.
She wouldn't go outside the door unless she was dressed right at home. And actually, she was very particular how things were around the house,
Yes.
where they were. She had a place for everything in her own way. And I thought I wouldn't like to get, when she was in a mood, I wouldn't like to cross her very much. But she's bringing love to you, both of you, her family, And she said on all of you around, she was that beautiful love that she's bringing for you. She liked Christmas.
She did.
She loved cooking.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I've got a rolling pin in my hand.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And so I'm rolling out pastry and things. I thought, what do I want a rolling pin for? You know, I didn't know that I had to hit someone, but it's cooking. I told you I've got a terrible person today. Well, I've got the rolling pin with the cooking. You don't take after your mum
Don't I?
in
No.
cooking. Your mum was a cook.
Yeah. What's she saying?
The rolling pin's coming out again.
Well,
isn't
you've
it?
got the rolling pin. You can take shortcuts where she couldn't.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah.
All I can think of, I can go and buy some ready-made
Oh,
pastries.
no, I don't like that.
I know. I'm just sort of thinking there's something there.
Oh, yeah.
But the cooking really is in the family.
Yes.
It's in the family. But she keeps her eye on you. You know, with the cook, you know, around.
Yeah.
But you are a very family orientated. You keep your family
Yes.
well fed.
Yes.
But this, what I don't want to know what she's saying. You can get round. I can't really get what she's trying to tell me. She does tell me the different thing. But will you take her, love?
Oh, yeah.
That she is there with you.
Yes.
She's going to be there for Christmas. She said there's a lot of weight more on your shoulders.
Yes.
This is what she's telling me. There's a lot of weight on your shoulders now. But she appreciates all that you're doing.
Yes.
But this is what Mum's saying. She said you realise you've got your hands full. But she said it's done with so much love between the two of you.
Yes.
She's proud of you both. Young man, can I come to, she wants to say to you, thank you for the love and laughter that you always gave her. Right? And the love is there so very much. But don't forget she still will be around at Christmas. Alright? Just be there within the family. She said, I know you miss her very much. But you feel her in her heart. She's there within you. And this is what she's telling me to tell you. She's always there in your heart. It's almost like she's put a big footprint in there. And there's a lot of love. And I'm going to say God bless you both. And take care. Okay, thank you very much. Right. Who can put up with? Can I come to the lady with the red hair?
Thank you, ma'am.
There hasn't been a lot of laughter in your life lately. All of a sudden this person has said, why have gone, there's not been the laughter. It's almost like you've got your head against a brick wall. No one listens to you. People know better than you. Well, they think, you know, but they don't listen to you in here. It's a partner in the other side that's coming through.
Thank you.
I want a strong man. I want a muscular man. All of a sudden I can feel, oh, I got muscles. You know, there. I've got strength. And I've got a very astute mind. Right. He died before his time. Because I've got a young man. I've got
Yes.
about 50-ish age group. Maybe a bit younger. But from what I'm seeing, I've got that. I've got these muscles. I want to stand there and support you. He said he's given you all that he could.
Thank you.
I know he's young, but he's saying to me, Our time was short.
Yes, it was.
I almost want to put all just on one hand in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our time was short. But didn't we have fun? He gave you himself 100%. Can you,
Yes.
as long as you can understand what I'm saying. But he had a wicked sense of humour as well.
Mm-hmm.
He liked sport.
Yes, he did.
I mean, I don't know whether I did swimming or something, but I want to give you the sea.
Yes.
Yeah, with him. But I've got laughter with it. It was his way of fun and letting you off. But I wouldn't be. Can you understand why I'm seeing a fire engine?
Yes, it's fun.
I thought, have I got? It's all right.
I didn't know him when he was a fireman, but he was fun.
Well, I've got this. I'm so cold with him as he's coming through. You know, it's for. He says that I've got to come through for the Christmases we never had because we only had a few. All I've got is one hand.
It is fun.
Yeah. But he gave 100% of himself at that time. But there's someone around from his past that's giving you a rough time. But how he's feeling.
My son, but not his.
Someone from the past is giving you a rough time. May not be his, but there's someone from the past. But there's a lot of laughter with him that's coming through. I said, Christmas, life has been quite isolated. I know we're isolated because of COVID, but you're isolated at any rate
Yes.
from family or something. This is all he's telling me, is you feel quite isolated. Like either that you've isolated yourself or someone's isolated you. You know, this is
Yes.
exactly how he's putting it. He's been over. It's been over a few years now.
Yes.
I want to go 10 years.
11 years.
Oh, only one dear out.
Mm.
So it wasn't bad. I mean,
Very good.
but I felt about 10 years that he's been. But you've always felt him around you, and you've always known he's there. He's got a gorgeous smile, but he's got a very deep laugh. Very, I really want to go down when I laugh with him. Did he have a back trouble before he passed
We
over?
did from the fire brigade, yes.
Because all as I'm standing here, all of a sudden, he's punched me in my back over something, you know. Well, as long as you know,
Yes.
at least you know it's him. He's there. He's letting you know. The love is still there from the spirit world for you. As you still send your love up to him, and you still talk to him as if he was in the next room, almost shouting at him sometimes. But it's always with love, because there was never a time when you cross paths. You know, as he's saying, we're always as one. But as short as it was enjoyable for us both. But now he's telling you to get on with your life. There's plenty more for you to do. And I said, God bless you.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice Christmas. Next year, no, I mustn't tell. I'm not allowed to give anything else. But look forward to next year, because there are things that will open up for you.
Thank you very
And
much.
I say, God bless you. Thank you very much. Can I come to the gentleman sat there in that lovely cosy sweater?
Warm.
Lady in the spirit, sir. Not been over too long. There's a love here from this lady. Oh my goodness, I want to stand upright with this lady. She would speak her mind,
Yes.
always. There's no going around the calendar. If she thought something, I'm dead on, dead straight. But you always used to know where you stood with her.
Mhm.
Quite a glamorous lady, for how I visualise her at this moment. Very caring lady,
Yes.
and I really got a caring. I don't know whether she was a nursing or something in her lifetime, but I felt she had that caring feeling about her, a motherly feeling, caring. There's so much impishness with her, you know, around it. But you always, I say, you knew where she was. She loved her home. She liked to have things. She was good with her hands. I did unknitted sewed things. You know, I really feel my hands are really on the go. Actually, quite artistic in her own way. So I really feel I want to make something nice, and I want to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Quite pernickety on getting things exactly right, as she is. She liked a good chat though,
Yes.
and I really thought communication to her was so important.
Yes.
You know, she wasn't she's a people, what I'd like to call a people person,
Yeah.
in her everyday life, and she could chat to anybody.
Yeah.
She had that sort of, gosh, she was worldly wise. This is how I really want to put it. She took on board everything that was going on around her, and you could have a conversation about anything, whether it's the coal miners or the stars. You know, there must be something there that has touched her in her life that she's read up on.
Yeah.
So she must have been an avid reader
Mhm.
in her time, from the knowledge that she is. I feel she still had, before she passed, she still had so much to give. She was a lady that I really want to bring here. She wanted to give and she wanted to share.
Yes.
She wanted to share all what she'd learnt with other people. I don't feel like this isolation would have driven her mad, in a way, before she passed to spirit. It was not being able to communicate with the people that she wanted to communicate with, because she was such an active person in that way. But what a wonderful knowledge that she had around her. That was around. She was very good in the home, but it was quick. She had so much else to do than just keeping a home. I mean, I really felt her brain and everything was always well open, and the door was always open and welcoming. But the last few months before she passed to the spirit were not as good.
No.
That way. I don't feel she's been over that long.
She died a year ago.
I said the energy that's coming through, they haven't been over that long. It's an energy that's built up, but my goodness, the brain, the intelligence that she had is still coming through, and I feel that I'd like to sit almost in her energy, because I would learn something from her.
Well, you've answered a question I've been asking a long time since she passed.
She was.
You've answered a question for me since she passed, because she suffered with dementia for many, many years. I looked after her for many years, and this is the first time she's come through, so thank you. That's a Christmas present.
That's what can you understand then when I'm saying I'd have to sit with her to get it out, because I'm going to say God bless you, to know that she's okay now, that she's back together, because this is how I feel. I know you've said that, but I really feel I'm back together. But before she was that intelligent woman. She had an awful lot going for her. But towards the end, she wasn't. That's why I said towards the end, she wasn't. But I'm going to leave her with you. She loved you very much, and there's a big thank you as well. She's telling me, she said, I'm sorry, my braid was like scrambled eggs. So she had a bit of warmth and she can see herself. And I say, God bless you. Okay, thank you very much. Is that it? All right. Thank you all very much for a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Phyllis, thank you, and thank you so much. We'll now move on to the notices for the week. I really must get new teeth for Christmas. Notices for the week. On Monday night at 7 o'clock, we have an online meditation. Wednesday, live here in the church and live to view only at home. We have our Wednesday service with Elaine Bevan. Friday night at 7:30, we have another one of our evenings online in conjunction with the Spiritist Association. Saturday morning at 9 a.m, we have an online meditation. And Saturday night, online once again, we join Stephen Wollaston, who will be giving a talk about Glyn Edwards, who's somebody that he worked with and knew very well when he was here. So we're looking forward to just finding out a little bit more about Glyn, because he was a wonderful medium of that time. Sunday, next Sunday at 3 o'clock, our service will be taken by Al and Jeff Potts. That's live here in the church. If you want to come and join in, please do. And it's also live to view only for all you wonderful people at home. And next Sunday we'll be celebrating, as we picked up quite a gathering in the Nordic countries through the church's online activities this year. We're going to bring in, they have a St. Lucia Day next Sunday, the 13th, where it's a festival of light and candles. So bring your sunglasses next week, because you know what I'm like. You'll be able to sit there and toast your marshmallows. So that's next Sunday. Just a little reminder, in 2021, this was planned way back earlier this year. Our Sunday services will be changing to 10:45 on a Sunday morning. This was brought in at that time to enable the church of then to have an additional evening to put on other events. Obviously this year has rather changed a lot of the plans. However, all the mediums are booked for next year at 10:45 on a Sunday morning. Same format, same routine, absolutely fine, just earlier in the day. And then actually that will give us now an additional evening for anything that may be online or indeed within the church, depending on the climate. We've just got to play things by ear, month by month at the moment. Those of you who know the church, remember over the last few years we have very actively supported anybody in the homeless field by collections, donations. Indeed, last year on Christmas Day we opened up to serve food here within the church. Obviously this Christmas is a different Christmas, so what we're going to do is lend our support to a charity based in Poole called Roots to Roots. They do a fantastic job, they really do. They do hot meals Monday to Friday. They have a soup kitchen on the street Saturday and Sundays, and great support to the homeless. So I've been down and spoken to them and asked what we can do for them. The church has just purchased something like 36 kilograms of baked beans. So that's a lot of beans, trust me. Because it's one of the staples for the hot meals during the week and at the soup kitchen. Also, if anybody can donate anything like tents, sleeping bags, men's underwear, just think, you know, we woke up this morning in bed with a roof over our heads and it was frosty everywhere. A lot of people didn't. Yeah, so if you can find anything, and it's especially, there are ladies out on the street obviously, but it is majority of the men out on the street, so anything you got that you can donate, drop it into Roots down Skinner Street, or indeed bring it into the church here and I'll take it down. So thank you very much. I would like to ask lovely Phyllis now for the closing prayer. Thank you, my darling.
Let us say thank you in our own ways, but as let us come together as one mind as we say, Dear Heavenly Father, a great thanks for the two worlds coming together this afternoon. We thank you for the confirmation of the continuation of life. We want to say thank you for your presence with us all. So, dear Heavenly Father, may each person that has attended this afternoon go forth with your love and the understanding that life continues. Amen.
Amen. Phyllis, absolutely beautiful service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we have an addition, we have a special treat for you. I was approached by a young man. Yeah, anyway. Sir, if you would like to come up and join us. This I'm not going to tell your story, you tell your story. So, come on,
Amen. Thank you for the message.
You're welcome.
You all right, Nick? Take a seat. All right. There we go. You tell your story.
Before I read this poem, I'd just like to say I've written this poem on behalf of, not just for my wife who's passed April this year, but also as a big thanks to the church, to Lawrence, to all the people here, all of you. I send my love and thanks for making us all, my daughter and myself, feeling so welcome here. And I say God bless you all and thank you. As you see, my granddaughter made my poem into a nice little Christmas message to you all. Christmas coming and drawing so very near. Soon it will be the most important day of the year. On that day it will be the full of celebration. Bells rolling out from every single nation. Those Christmas trees at night make a wonderful sight. Our world transformed into a heavenly white. May those angels shine on your Christmas tree. The turkey and the mistletoe are part of the festivity. Every Christmas blessings are sent around our church, finding that spirit in the teachings of Silver Birch. Leaving a place of mince pies for Father Christmas to see, a glass of wine to drink in Jesus Christ's memory. These few words from Spirit are for you that I write. Healing hands at Christmas make a very spiritual sight. During celebrations, you have a surprise up your sleeve, perhaps a hidden bottle of wine to drink on Christmas Eve. The sound of Christmas carols sung by a holy choir, all those seasonal chestnuts roasting on an open fire. At church, the star of Bethlehem shines on you all so bright, bring his best wishes for Christmas and a new year full of light. Thank you.
Lovely. Yeah, thank you. Right, sir. Thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jim. It's been an absolute honour and pleasure. Right, before I burst into tears, come on. Thank you all. Here he is there, I can feel it, go away. Told you, if you make me cry, I'm going to buy you. Thank you all for coming today. It's been an absolute joy. Phyllis, and what can I say?
Okay.
What can I say? Absolutely beautiful. Thank you all for everybody who's joined us at home, and thank you, Fiona, for being the online host today. Well volunteered. Thank you, my darling. That's it. This is it. It just stops now, doesn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it was lovely. She had to
And
come
for
to
me,
you.
I mean,
I know, she did that.
it's difficult.
She did that to